using a Note as my work phone for several years now, and of course, it's no surprise that I was immediately drawn to this phone over here. So hey guys, welcome back to the channel where we take awesome out of the box. My name is Leia, and this is my pros and cons review of the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. But before we get to that, here's a quick reminder to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our videos. Okay, so let's start with the price. So the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra is 67,990 pesos for the LTE version and 72,990 pesos for the 5G variant. I always start with the price because it puts everything in perspective. It helps us decide whether a product or a gadget is worth it in the price versus performance ratio. And with that, guys, let's start with the pros. Pro number one is the design. The Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra is a looker. I have the Mystic Bronze color variant, which is what a lot of people opted to get, I think, and I totally understand why. It looks amazing, very premium, and at a glance, you can immediately tell that it's a flagship device. I also love the fact that it has a matte finish, so I don't have to worry about fingerprint smudges, and it has a nice boxy feel, which I've come to expect from Note devices. Pro number two is it has a lot of things that we expect flagship phones to have. To begin with, it has an IP68 rating, so it can handle splashes here and there. It has an ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, which is fast, accurate, and according to Samsung, very secure. Wireless decks can come in really handy. It has wireless charging and reverse charging and all the frills that flagships should have. Third on the pros list is, of course, the display. The Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra has a 6.9-inch WQHD+ Dynamic AMOLED 2.0 display. The colors are bright, the details are crisp, the blacks are deep, and watching my favorite content on it is just amazing. The punch hole is small, and eventually, guys, you get so used to it that you stop seeing it altogether. The display is huge and curved, which is great if you're watching videos, but then again, this also means that you have to be extra careful when using the smartphone, plus I have experienced accidental touches every now and then. As I mentioned in my first impressions, the refresh rate goes all the way up to 120 Hz, although it's only available in FHD+. Now, if you're gonna max out the resolution, then the refresh rate will go down to 60 Hz. I can't help but wish that it didn't have this limitation. Generally though, the Note 20 Ultra has an amazing display, and I'll just go ahead and say it, I think that it's one of the best displays I've seen on a smartphone this year. Pro number four is this tiny thing over here. It's what makes a Note, and it's actually the reason why I'm using it as my main work phone, the S Pen. It is an amazing productivity tool, and the one on the Note 20 Ultra is made even better. It has a 9-millisecond latency, which makes it more responsive, and I personally like the sound it makes while you write. It adds to the pen and paper feel, and if it's not your thing though, you can always turn it off. Honestly though, while the S Pen on the Note 20 Ultra is great, and I love the fact that Samsung made it even better, the ones on the Note 10, 9, and 8 were pretty good too, and they serve their purpose well. The extra thing on the Note 20 Ultra though is that the S Pen now works seamlessly with Samsung Notes. So you can sign on PDF, annotate, choose a template and a background color. Now I know these things and these features aren't for everyone, but for someone who signs a lot of documents and takes down notes during meetings, this feature is incredible. And now, the fifth and final thing on my pros list is the camera performance. I am really enjoying taking photos using the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. Now, coming from the Note 10, there's a big improvement in terms of overall photo quality, the exposure, the details, the clarity, and very seldom do I feel the need to edit in post because most of the time, I snap a shot and it's Instagram ready. I love that the photos turn out great whether you're shooting in the morning or at noon when the sun is harsh, and even night photography is looking so much better. The Note 20 Ultra has a 108 megapixel shooter, which is pretty identical to the one on the S20 Ultra. It has a 12 megapixel ultra wide angle camera and a 12 megapixel telephoto shooter with a native optical zoom of 5x. So instead of the 100x space zoom that the S20 Ultra had, the one on the Note tops out at 50x, which is actually, guys, more than what we need. The front camera is at 10 megapixels and takes pretty good selfies, so excuse my face, guys. Here are some of my sample shots. I also have to say that the laser autofocus works very well. I never encountered any focusing issues or the camera having a hard time hunting for the subject. So yeah, I think that this is a good call for Samsung. For those of you who are wondering about the video capability of this smartphone, here's a sample clip. As you can see, it's very clear, the details are there. It takes very good video actually, guys. So if you are starting to vlog or maybe just take a lot of videos for personal use, then you will definitely enjoy the cameras of the Note 20 Ultra. Now let's move on to the cons. And first would be that huge camera bump. I thought I would get used to it, but I've been using the phone for a month now. It just gives me comfort that it takes amazing shots, so in a way, the bump makes more sense. I do have to say though that the bronze rings on the camera is a nice, elegant touch. The second one on my cons list is the battery life. Not the battery size, it has a 4500 mAh battery, which normally would last me an entire day with a bit left for the next day. But that's not the case with this phone. It usually lasts me about 12 hours. And guys, I don't consider myself a heavy user. I just use my phone for work, so that's email, social media, messenger. I hardly turn LTE on because I'm just home and I rely on Wi-Fi. So yeah, I was expecting the battery to last a bit longer. Take note that I have the adaptive refresh rate on, so meaning that depending on the apps that I have open, then the refresh rate will adjust accordingly. So I was expecting it to save battery for me, but I did read that Samsung will be issuing a software update that's supposed to improve the battery life of the Note 20 Ultra, and I'm waiting for it to be available here in the Philippines. I really need that update. And last for the cons list is the processor. Here in the Philippines, the Note 20 Ultra runs on an Exynos 990 chipset, while those from other regions run on a Snapdragon 865 Plus. While I'm happy with the performance of the Note 20 Ultra, I do understand the sentiment of many people because the Snapdragon version does perform a lot better. Although for my day-to-day use, the Exynos 990 can take it. It has enough muscle for my work tasks and for multitasking. And that's it for my pros and cons review of the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. Is this a smartphone that you would consider? Or if you're a business person, are you currently using a Note? What do you think of it? Actually guys, that's it for this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. My name is Leia. Stay safe, happy, and healthy everyone. Bye!
Thank you.